What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. Ooh, I don't feel the best today. I am at probably 62%, but the show must go on. Can't even talk. Show must go on. So I'm a fight through it. Anyway, so Sony spilled some financial numbers and such. I guess the new CFO, I don't know what her name was, but she was a lady. And yeah, she was mentioning, I think one of the key things she was mentioning is how PlayStation, or Sony, excuse me, was $683 million affected by the tariffs. That's what they calculated somehow. It was 100 billion yen or something. I don't know what the conversion is, but yeah, it was a lot of yen and hundreds of millions of dollars. And so they're gonna raise prices. I mean, everybody knew that, right? If Microsoft raises prices, I mean, because Sony has already raised prices, and so it's like, oh, they're not gonna raise prices because they already raised prices. No. That's not how. That's not how the new contemporary Sony works. New Sony is all about that money, and so they're gonna raise prices. They haven't said how they're gonna raise prices yet, but they're kind of easing it in, just the tip and all that. And I'm like, I want to see some reactions. I want to see MVG. I want to see Reforge. He's gonna twist it and flip it and spin it, of course. Crap Gamer's gonna twist it and flip it and spin it because he's a dumbass too. I mean, the more that he does that stupid countdown thing for Phil to retire, is the dumber he's going to become, in my book, anyway. And higher up on the list of dummy stock unicorns, the best stock unicorns, which is not a good thing. I'm compiling the list in my mind, and one day I will do a video because list videos kind of are cool, depending. Anyway, so among the almost $700 million affected by the tariffs, which will affect the games and, of course, the console prices. PS4 Pro's going up. PS5 Pro's definitely going up. Sorry. So she also said, well, I don't know if she did it, but it was in another document, a tweet or somebody. I think it was part of the same thing, but they gave the numbers. And so their hardware revenue down 30%. Their I guess games and services. No, it wasn't games and services. It was something else. It was up 4%, I think. And then games revenue was down 15%. And I'm like, market leader down 30%. Down more than Xbox. How is that? How are you the market leader and you're down more than the third place dude? You see what I'm saying? You see how the numbers that they're saying seem a little sus? 77 million, whatever. They're full of shite. They still haven't given us actual sale numbers. They're scared. They don't want to because it's actually closer to Xbox's sales. And it makes them seem a little less than, which they are, because they're giving us BS numbers. So it's really, really crazy as far as the financial stuff, the downfall, the downward trend of PlayStation. And I think their projected sales numbers for 2026 is 15 million, which is down from 18 point something million, which is down from 25 or 21 million. It keeps going down. Their projections keep going down. People say, oh, well, it's the halfway point of the consoles and blah, blah, blah. Like, no. Y'all are fools. You keep switching these prices. You keep upping the prices. You keep doing all these things. People don't want that. People don't want, no. That's a no. And so you know, these Doggy Unicorns and these ponies, especially the Crap Gamer, he is becoming worse than Tim Dog. And I mean, I did a video yesterday, but for some reason, I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it to work. I couldn't get it to come over. I think it's this new phone is super new, so I have to go in and deselect some settings. I think that's what's going on. But anyway, the end game, or not the end game, but if you look at, once again, I always tell you, look at what's going on, the broader picture, the broader kind of view. Xbox is still in the best position out of all three, right? Because of Game Pass, period. That's it, and that's all. You look at Doom is blowing up the spot. Everybody blah blah. Mooch is a dumbass now too. Him and Crap, they're both dumbasses. He was he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna play it on Xbox. He's talking about Doom, the Dark Ages. I'm not gonna play it. I want the best possible version. I'm gonna play on my Pro. I got a new monitor. I'm gonna do all these things. I'm like, yeah. Maybe he said that before Digital Foundry did the slap across the internet to all the ponies and Dark Unicorns and said, Xbox is king. I need to clip that. That's going in a song. I'm sorry. Oliver, you're about to be famous because Xbox is king. Or if I don't clip it, I'll just recreate it myself. But dude, I'm like, these ponies and Dark Unicorns are so kind of stuck on like power, console sales. That's predicated. That's the actual worth of the console and the worth of the company that they're sucking off. And once again, the CFO was talking about what is important. And what wasn't important is console sales. She said, nah. She didn't say nah. She said, this is how we're going to measure success. And Hiroki Toki said this before, but she reiterated it. She's the CFO, the funny money person, money, financial officer, chief. And so she said that it's about engagement and MAUs. That's what she said, which is contradictory to all this console sold 77. It's contradictory because the console sold on PlayStation side do not equate to MAUs, do not equate to engagement. And that right there is a signal. It's a signal to PlayStation. It's a signal to the whole industry that, oh, well, exclusivity doesn't work. It doesn't matter if they have all these consoles. Obviously, they don't, because they are not selling enough. How can you have almost 80 million and only sell 1 million of a game? Doesn't make sense unless that number that you're saying is not correct. Now, I'm not saying they don't have a big number. What I am saying is that the games that they're making, Sony, PlayStation, are not what people are playing, not what people want to play. And part of it is DEI. I ain't gonna lie. I wish it wasn't, but it is. And part of it is they have no original ideas. They keep making Uncharted over and over again. Heretic, Prophet, Intergalactic, they haven't shown the gameplay because it's probably going to be like Uncharted. Maybe a little bit more melee, but it's like, okay, it's Uncharted with a different coat of paint on it. Thanks, Neil Druckmann. This is really great. And so whatever Sony is doing is not working. And them continually pushing this console sale thing. I mean, it's not really Sony that's doing that. They're releasing the numbers to fuel the fire. But the bottom line still isn't changing. The bottom line is that if you want to look at numbers to numbers, Microsoft did better than Sony this quarter. You know, they had a higher growth. They had less shrinkage in console sales, and they had higher engagement and all these things, right? Now, that's not to say that they didn't sell as many consoles or more consoles than PlayStation. PlayStation probably sold more because just the way that percentages work and the volumes and stuff. But still, it doesn't. When you're given these numbers and you're saying percentages, and your percentages are double digit more than your competition, doesn't look good. You should have probably just said the numbers and then compared it to Xbox. But Xbox not gonna give you numbers. So when you do that number, it's a low number, and it's like, ew, they only sold 1,000 or whatever thousand. That's it. You expect them to sell, you know, over a million and a half at least. That's what their trajectory is for next year. Projection is next year, something like that. 1 point whatever million a month in order to get to 15, right? I'm like, I don't think they're gonna sell. They might sell 10, maybe if they're lucky. But this console generation is done, and PlayStation, they're not gonna do what PlayStation 4 did. Neither is the Switch too. So whatever, that's just the actual just state of the world. Going back to the CFO, she was the reason why she was kind of saying that she calculated the 683 million or 100 billion yen, and it was because of the tariffs and market conditions. She said market conditions, so I'm like, okay, hold up. If she would have just said tariffs, that would have been fine. But when she says market conditions, that dictates and that tells us that everything's going up. All these prices are going up. Microsoft raised prices. Nvidia raised prices. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all knew that. Nvidia raised prices of all the graphics cards. Nintendo raised prices. So why wouldn't they? Because they want all the money too. Even though they've raised prices already, they're going to raise prices in the US, which I don't think they have yet. Oh, no, they did early on. But I think they're going to do it again. And the PS5 Pro, the Pixeltech 5 Potato, I wouldn't be surprised if it's $799 for real. I'm just saying. They think they got a premium product there, and that premium product going to be dusty on the shelf. Nobody's buying that thing, and the funny thing is, it's like Doom, the Dark Ages illustrates how not worth the Pixeltech 5 Potato is, and so now we have to wait for Rockstar. We have to wait to see what date. If the Pixeltech 5 Potato fails at being the best version for Grand Theft Auto 6, that's it. That was their saving grace. If that doesn't do it, or if it isn't, enough, you'd be like, yo, just get an X. It's $200 cheaper. At that point, it will be $200 cheaper. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Donkey Unicorns and Points. Just go. I mean, I'm saying, go to Twitter, watch these fools, watch them spin it. It's unspinnable, but they'll spin it because they're not going to talk about it, or they'll talk about, but Xbox was this and Xbox was that, and I can't believe that, and I'm like, I Phil Spencer should retire, right? And so I'm like, I didn't realize how much of a dumbass Crap Gamer was until this past week, basically. I mean, I knew he was a flip flopper. He's a donkey unicorn. Let's go. But this is just too. This goes beyond mental stability, because it's like, look, you're a fan of a box, and they upset you somehow. Excuse me. It's not like when Sega Dreamcast went away. I was sad because Sega Dreamcast. I wasn't mad at Sega. I was like, Sega, you suck. I'm going to buy a Nintendo. Freaking GameCube. I'm like, no, I didn't do that. I'm going to go buy a PlayStation. I didn't do that. I was just like, oh, well, guess I'm going to take a break from video games. That's what I did. These fools are crybabies. I used to be a crybaby when I was a little boy, but I got all my tears out when I was younger. And now, honestly, I could care less. I'm just like, yo, y'all. And so I'm looking at these guys, and I'm like, why? What is the purpose of what he's doing? Now, either he's a genius and he's trying to garner more ponies and donkey unicorns to his channel to keep subs up or whatever. I don't know. Or this is how he truly feels. If he's really butthurt from almost 10 years ago, and he's just not mature enough to just enjoy gaming, instead of like, oh yeah, we're gonna sit here and cry about exclusivity, which is the dumbest thing, and console sale, which is another dumb thing. And then CFO comes out, yeah, that stuff doesn't work. It doesn't matter anymore. So what can he say? What can Crab Gamer say the CFO, the boss, the second in command, basically says, "Yeah, you're an idiot. That's not what we're doing. That's not the game plan. That's not how we measure success anymore." But they're sitting there acting like they didn't say that. Look, I can't. I'm out of gas, and I'm out of gas, and I'm out of gas for them. So I appreciate hanging out, listen to my dumbass, like and subscribe. Leave me in the comments below. Let me know what you think about $700 million, well, 683 to be precise. 100 billion yen. I'm gonna put that in the title instead. It seems more drastic. And crap gamers idiocy. Yeah, I'm sorry for the low energy today, but I really don't feel good. But I'm gonna pass out when I get to the crib, and I'll talk to y'all later. Took away.